Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing.
Good morning, and welcome to Storytime. Thank you so much for joining me. Happy Monday, wherever you are, friends. Thank you for being here with us, and apologies for coming in late. I laugh. I'm sorry I'm late, but I laugh because I think this is quite appropriate. So this week, we will be reading stories. Tomorrow, the 24th of October, is Zambia's Independence Day, right? And so this week we're going to be reading books that remind me of, those beautiful principles that I feel are the foundation of Zambia. And family, friends, and just celebrating who we are. And the liberation struggle is a big part of who we are, and just the people that helped liberate the country, and so that is a big part. And not just Zambia, but those liberators too, like Kenneth Kaunda, Mama Julia Chikamoneka, all went out too and helped other nations in Africa and in the world too to get their independence. And so that is also a critical part of who we are. And then the youth, we celebrate the youth that we have in Zambia, and it's such a vibrant young people, and they're a force for change. And I think the last presidential election was down to the youth. They made the difference. They pushed for change, and it happened. And I think it was a good thing for the country. So lots of things that we'll be touching on that are all reminding me of Zambia this week. And of course, tomorrow we'll be reading a book written by a Zambian and set in Zambia. So I'm excited for that one too, to be coming here to Storytime. But all that to say, coming in on Zambian time, I think was quite appropriate, isn't it? That's my excuse for today. I had to be on brand. Apologies one more time. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Absolutely appreciate being here with you. And we will be reading a book that, celebrates our young ones. And it is called Because of an Acorn. What happens because of an acorn? This one is written by Lola M. Schaefer and Adam Schaefer, and illustrations by Frann, Preston-Gannon. Thank you so much for joining in here on Storytime today. I hope that you're ready for this wonderful week of independence that we have lined up for you here. Zambia's independence, of course, coming up on October 24th, tomorrow. So yes, you will. This week we'll definitely be talking about that quite a bit, and all of those things that I just love about Zambia so much. Thank you for joining in Storytime today. And if you have a few things that you've learned about Zambia yourself, if you visited maybe, or you have it on your list, then why not share them here with us on Storytime. And glad that we're here together. Thank you for joining in Storytime. Where are you today? Who is joining in with you? How was your weekend? Thank you indeed for joining in Storytime. Because of an Acorn coming up very shortly. But before then, Let us see who is here with us on Storytime. Yes, indeed, I see you today. Megan and Ari, thank you so much for joining us from out there in a chilly and sunny Kentucky. Well, thank you so much for being here with us. Those are tricky days, right? You look out, the sun is out, and you're thinking, well, I can leave without the jacket. No. Please be sure to grab that jacket on your way out. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for choosing to be here with us on Storytime. Ari and Megan out there in Kentucky, thank you so much for joining in Storytime, and hopefully we'll bring you a little warmth with this story today. Thank you so much for joining in here today. Oh, yes, indeed. And we're playing chess with a new chess set from Auntie Missy. Well, love that. Ari, oh my goodness, I love that. And yeah, congratulations on your new chess set. Absolutely love it. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. And yeah, glad we're here. And of course, too, thank you, Auntie Missy, for that chess set. And I think it is in the right place. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. Appreciate you all. Good morning to you, Marietta Apollonia. So saying from a sunny 4-day out there in Harvard, Massachusetts. Thank you for being here with us, Marietta, and we hope that you're having yourself a wonderful day. Thank you for joining in Storytime. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you, Marietta. In the works. Hopefully everyone out there will be having one shortly. But yeah, it's been a work in progress, and hopefully we soon have them all out there for each one of you. Thank you so much for joining us out here in Zambia. Thank you indeed. Good morning to you, Erin, out in Massachusetts. We're in full foliage season. Love hearing about Zambia. Well, thank you so much indeed. And yes, this week I'll definitely be sharing a few quotes, sharing a few things, and yeah, some travel tips as well. There's some books that I have here for sure that have are helpful, and of course some of which just growing up there learned about. So I'll be sharing a lot of that. Thank you so much for joining in here on Storytime today. Appreciate you and hope that you're having a wonderful day. Please send us those 4 pictures so we can share them here on Storytime. We already have one coming in from Marietta, and we'll be sharing that one, of course. And of course, one from last year too. We'll be sharing that. So please do share those pictures so we can share them here as our backgrounds, and yeah, everybody else can get to enjoy the beauty that is out there right now. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. And yes, indeed, joining us all the way out in Eastern Zambia, Katete. Thank you so much for joining in. Oscar Mwanagulanga, appreciate you, bro. Thank you for being here with us on Storytime, and I hope that you and the family are doing well. And you say Independence Morning to you from Zed. Oscar, it's not Independence Morning yet. I'm pretty sure it's not. It's tomorrow. Oscar, Independence Day is the 24th. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. No, don't listen to Oscar. Independence Day is the 24th. It is tomorrow. Oscar, you're making me second guess myself here. Thank you so much for joining in, everybody. Glad that you're here with us on Storytime. Yes, on this special week that we will be indeed talking about Zambia's independence and just celebrating that and reading books that build up to that. Yes, Oscar, this whole week will be about Zambia's independence and things that remind me of Zambia's independence. For those that don't understand Nyanja, he's busy saying, I am saying today is Independence Day. No, Oscar. Thank you so much for joining in. Please get comfortable, get cozy. We'll be right back after this short break. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. Always appreciate you. I'll see you on the other side in a little bit.
Hi, friends. My name is Christy, and I am the author of A Heart in the Sand, also known as Un Corazón en la Arena. Now, this bilingual book is about tesoros, or treasures. And something that I treasure is my friendship with Mr. Lamada. So I have a challenge for you. Share this story time with someone who you treasure, and we can all spread the literary love.
Welcome back. Thank you so much indeed, Christy, and thank you for that amazing book, A Heart in the Sand, on Kasondu Arena. I hope I said that correctly. every time I try, one day I'll get it right. Thank you so much for joining in. And if you've not seen it, please do check out the Storytime platforms for that one, A Heart in the Sand, and it is written by Christy Deprin. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. Our story for today to kick us off, one that I feel celebrates all the young people out there. There is a saying in Zambia that goes, it says, "Imiti kula empanga." And that means, the little trees of today are the forests of tomorrow. So we'll be going into that a little bit too after the story. But as you can see from what that implies, right? It's if we can nurture all these little ones now, they are the mighty forests of tomorrow. So here's our story for today, Because of an Acorn, written by Lola M. Schaefer and Adam Schaefer, illustrated by Frann Preston-Gannon. Here we go, and we're reading this one with permission of the publishers, Chronicle Books of San Francisco. Because of an acorn. Because of an acorn. One tiny acorn. A tree. Because of an acorn, a tree. Because of that tiny tree, what happened? Because of a tree. A bird. Because of a tree, a bird. Because of an acorn, a tree. And because of a tree, a bird. Good morning to you, Pamela. How are you doing? And Chad? It is chilly out in Nakatosh today. Bundle up, bundle up. And because of a tree, a bird. Because of a bird, where will this chain lead? Because of a tree, a bird. Because of a bird, what's there? Oh, because of a bird, a seed. And because of a seed, because of a bird, a seed. And because of a seed, a flower. No. Because of a bird, a seed. Because of a seed, a flower. Because of a flower, and because of a flower, well, a fruit. Oh. Yeah, because of a flower, a fruit. Because of a fruit. Yes, because of a flower, a fruit. And because of a fruit, because of a fruit, a chipmunk. Is that what you were expecting? Because of a flower, a fruit. And because of a fruit, a chipmunk. And because of a chipmunk, do you see what I see? Because of a flower, a fruit. Because of a fruit, a chipmunk. Because of a chipmunk, oh my goodness, who's there? Oh, a snake. Watch out, chipmunk. Because of a flower, a fruit. Because of a fruit, a chipmunk. And because of a chipmunk, a snake. Because of a snake, a hawk. Whoa. Because of a fruit, a chipmunk. Because of a chipmunk, a snake. And because of a snake, a hawk. Whoa. Nature at work, isn't it? Because of a chipmunk, a snake. Because of a snake, a hawk. And because of a hawk, what's there? And because of a hawk, well, an acorn. Because of an acorn, because of a hawk, an acorn. Because of an acorn, well, a forest, a mighty, mighty forest. Look at that. Oh, because of a tiny acorn. Ah. And that is the end of our story. I know that one is a very short one. And in the back here, too, there's lots of things that it talks about describing some of the trees that are mentioned in here. Of course, acorns, an ecosystem, and all different things. But one of the things that I wanted to highlight was it says, how can you help today? What can you do to help? And this is to help our environment, of course. And it says, for one, use napkins and paper towels and more cloth napkins. Use fewer napkins and paper towels and more cloth napkins and towels. The less paper products needed, the fewer trees will be cut. Number two, collect and take your cardboard, newspapers, note papers, and letters to the recycling center. And hopefully that you do have a recycling center near you, or at least you do have recycling collection. The more we recycle, the less new paper will need to be made. And I know that this is not always possible where we are. Even in places that recycle, it is not usually done right. But hopefully we can still play that little part, right, if we're able. Or just reuse more, right? By byproducts that are made from recycled paper and cardboard. If recycled products sell well, there will be less need for new. Number four, visit a forest near you. Take a hike, watch the wildlife, walk along a stream, take photographs. When we appreciate the forest, we do more to conserve the land and plants and animals. Yeah, just few things to share there, and there's so much more in the back too here. If you get the chance to have this book from your local library, please do check that out. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today here because of an acorn. Oh yes, a mighty forest. Thank you for being here with us on Storytime. I'll catch you on the other side of this short break. Thank you indeed. See you soon.
Hi, my name is Zetta Elliott, and I am the author of 40 books for kids, including Dragons in a Bag and A Place Inside of Me. You're watching Storytime with Mr. Lamata.
Indeed. Welcome back. Indeed. Thank you, Zeta Elliott, for your message this morning as well. Author and creator of many wonderful books, as mentioned there, including Dragons in a Bag. Thank you for being here with us on Storytime. I hope that you enjoyed our first story of the week, and this one is called Because of an Acorn. And I said today earlier too that I will be reading stories this week that share principles or things that I love about Zambia. Zambia's Independence Day is tomorrow, the 24th of October. And this one, if I'm not mistaken, is the 59th anniversary. So yes, Zambia turning 59 tomorrow. Celebrations all around, and indeed celebrating the youth today. This book reminds me of that. There's a saying that I mentioned. It says, "Imiti kula empanga." It means the small trees of today, the seedlings, the little, like plants today are the forest of tomorrow. And yes, that is our little ones. We need to nurture them right now and take care of them and make sure that they are there tomorrow, taking care of this planet, taking care of all of us. Indeed. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. And of course, too, young people are doing a lot as is right now. So let us make sure that we support them and create environments where they can thrive. Yes. Thank you so much for joining in. Whether they decide to go into entrepreneurship, whether they decide to go into formal employment as it's called, or whatever else that they decide to do, the trades, everything else, we need to create that environment that allows them to go and thrive and indeed be productive citizens of our world. Thank you so much for being here with us today on Storytime and sharing too, Oscar, my cousin who's on here today. That is my brother. That one growing up, that is my person. Wherever Oscar was, that's where I was too. And similarly, wherever I was, you were sure to find Oscar. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Even though today he's trying to throw me off on when Independence Day is. Still love you, Oscar. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. Absolutely appreciate you. The words are beautiful yet simple, but it holds such powerful meaning. Thank you, Pamela Courtney. Exactly why we brought it here to Storytime. Thank you for articulating that for us here. Thank you indeed. Appreciate you. And yes, every little one that is watching with us today, that is here reading with us today on Storytime, well, this one is just for you. Thank you so much for joining in. Ari, of course, Chad, this one's for you and everyone that is joining in. Erin, I know you're here with us as well. Henry, if you join us later on, and everybody out there in Zambia too. Marcus, everybody that's joining in Storytime, thank you for being here with us. Absolutely appreciate you. And Kathy, good morning to you. And you say beautiful pictures. It is a beautiful book indeed. And like Pamela Courtney says, simple yet powerful. Thank you so much for joining us out here on Storytime. And of course, you're telling us that it is cold out there in Natchitoches, Louisiana. Thank you, Pamela Courtney and Chad, for joining in. And I hope that, Storytime was what was needed to make it just a little bit warmer. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. And yes, looking forward to tomorrow. Independence Day tomorrow, Zambia's Independence Day, the 24th of October. And I will be bringing to you a special song for Storytime to kick us off for Storytime tomorrow, one just especially for Independence. Thank you so much for being here with us on Storytime. Oscar Mwanagulanga, thank you so much for joining us, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of the day out there in Zambia, where right now it is just after almost 3:30 p.m. So hopefully you have a wonderful rest of the day and you get to enjoy it and have a beautiful dinner. Yes, Samunshima out there in Zambia. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. Good morning to you one more time, Tara. And of course, Erin, thank you for joining us in Massachusetts, where you're saying here in full foliage season. Love hearing about Zambia. Well, thank you so much. We are in the right place this week. We will be talking a lot more about Zambia. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. And Marietta, thank you for joining us out there in Harvard. Thank you for being here, Harvard, Massachusetts. And you say sunny 4 day it is out there. Thank you for being here. And of course, Sending love to Henry as well. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. New chess set, enjoying it. Thank you, Auntie Missy. Thank you indeed for sharing that new chess set. And of course, Ari and Megan, happy for you. Thank you for joining us out there in chilly and sunny Kentucky today. Thank you for being here. Absolutely appreciate you, everybody. And Marietta, you mentioned the t-shirts. Well, I hope we can bring them soon to everybody. So be sure that we are working on that as well. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. Henry remembers the folktale you told a year or two ago. Yes, it is one of my favorites for sure. And yeah, we should bring it back soon. We should bring it back soon to Storytime and share that one indeed. Thank you indeed. Thank you. And yes, for those of you that have not seen that story, it's called Kalulu the Hare. So do check it out on the Storytime platforms and get to enjoy it if you have not yet. Oh, yeah, why not go back to it for sure. Thank you so much for joining in. Pamela Courtney, thank you indeed for being here with us on Storytime. Chad, I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. This has been Storytime today, and we've been reading Because of an Acorn. Yes, Imiti Kula Empanga. That is in the Bemba language spoken in the northern part of Zambia. And yeah, simply means seedlings of today, the small shoots of today, the forest of tomorrow. Yes, the mighty forest of tomorrow. We need to nurture them for sure. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. We're back tomorrow with a story set in Zambia. Abelo, the adventurous Advac, comes back to Storytime. It is written by Mbonabi Thomas and it is illustrated by Cherise Harris. This one coming back here to Storytime. Mbonabi Thomas is a Zambian living out in Barbados, living out in paradise. Love it. And we bring back this book. And Bonabi is a good friend of Storytime here. And just if you know something about Zambia too, Bonabi's name, Bonabi is from the west of Zambia, where my dad is from. So my last name, Limada, too, is from the west. So Bonabi and I are from the west of Zambia. And yeah, bringing you this story tomorrow. So do join us. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. Absolutely love it. I hope that I see you here for many, many more story times. But this week, let's come together and celebrate Zambia's Independence Day. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Much love from me. And I will see you again tomorrow when we're back with more story time. Thank you for being here, friends. And I'll catch you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Story time with Mr. Limada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing. And think, read me all of your stories. Read me all of your stories. Some stories from far away, others right here in my neighborhood. Story time. Ooh. Story time. Story time with Mr. Lamada. tune. Oh. Story time with Mr. Lumada, where all your dreams come true. Oh. He brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be here. Brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing.